Hello friends, I am going to be doing Roxy's weekly challenge, and her challenge this week is to create a journal cover out of Amazon packaging. And it just so happens that I have received this in my Amazon packaging, and it just so happens it came already perforated, so I think this is a perfect journal cover. It's been a year since I did a true junk journal, so I am going to, my friend Carol at Carol's Recrafted Boutique has been working on one, and so I was saying, oh my gosh, I want to do one again. And so Roxy's challenge, her weekly challenge, is the perfect reason for me to get started. So these are old book pages that this book I got at the thrift store, and these are old 2020 calendars, so I might use some images from this. And actually both of these are also 2022 calendars that I think I want to use the images on to cover this, what's going to be our junk journal cover. So let's get started. I'm going to start by cutting out this image here. I want this right on the front. While I start working on cutting, I just want to thank you all for being here and let you know how very much I appreciate it, and just want to let you know that I really enjoy doing all of this crafty stuff, and I really enjoy making my videos, and I hope that it brings you some happiness in your life. So basically right here, pretty simple stuff. I am just cutting out the images of that calendar page. This also was a 2020 calendar, and but they have these beautiful images on them. Sometimes the images are a little bit too big to use in projects, but if you just cut them down, it usually works out. So I'm tearing up the book pages because I'm going to line the edges with that, and then as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and lay the image on top of the book pages. And you're going to see later on, I end up using book pages like to seal the edges, and I could have done that from the beginning, but I didn't know that that's kind of what I wanted to do. So, and you'll see what I mean a little bit later on in the video. I am using Mod Podge to adhere the papers to this cardboard. Just Mod Podge and a nice big brush. I've opened the cover up all the way so that I can go ahead and do the front and the back and the spine all at once. I think that'll just kind of keep the process simple. Okay, I've got that where I want it pretty much, so I'm going to go ahead and lay the main image on top of those torn book pages, and I'm just giving it a protective cover of the Mod Podge, as I'm going along. And also you'll notice that I do about an inch or so of the Mod Podge and then press it down. And that's what you see me doing with the brush. When I'm hitting the brush on top, I'm actually pressing down the image to get, maybe spread the excess glue around, or even to remove air bubbles. So that's what I'm doing right now with it. I thought it would look pretty cool to add the image of the open book to the spine. I already know I'm going to end up using sandpaper on the edges of it once everything's dry. So I'm not worried about, how do I want to say this? I'm not worried about a perfect fit. That's how I want to say it, because I'm going to end up sanding it and then I'll end up sealing it one more time. So now I feel like I want to use the leftover parts of that image on the back of the book cover. So that's what I'm doing now. So I've got this empty space in the center, and so I'm going to use some of this green This is also calendar from 2020. I'm going to go ahead and use some of that. you'll see towards the end, you'll see the finished product of it. I don't feel like I love it, but that's the beautiful thing about art, is that once I really finish embellishing the cover, if I don't love it, I can always cover it with a different image, or I can paint a little something on it, maybe a saying. I don't know what I'm going to do, but the point is I don't have to leave it in such a way that I don't love it. I can go back to it and work on it some more. All right, now we are going to start working on the inside of the book cover, and I have another calendar, again 2020, using that up, and again Mod Podge, pressing it down, just kind of throwing these images together the way that I think that they would look nice, and the way that I feel that it would, I want this to be a fun project. So I'm having fun with it, and I want it to be fun when the recipient receives it. I want them to have fun, looking at it and using it. And I am making this as a gift for someone, and I'm pretty excited because this person has no idea that I am making it for them. So I finished up the inside of the book, and now, okay, let me try to explain this. So the cardboard is, let's say, 3 or 4 centimeters thick, and I did not wrap that paper around it. And so now I'm going to go ahead and tear some more book pages, and you'll see I'm putting some glue down and I'm folding over the book pages. That is going to seal all of the edges of the cover. And like if I had been doing this with fabric, I would do the same thing with fabric. Although if I was using fabric, I wouldn't have it be so many pieces. But with book pages, you tear them apart like that, and they're so easy to work with. And so that's why I did it like that. I want this to have a really kind of organic feeling, just kind of like no rules, a lot of tearing, nothing uptight about it at all. And so that's what we've got here. And I have to tell you, it was really, really fun to just be very free about the way that I put this together. Okay, so now I am just sanding the edges of the spine, and I'm doing that because it's kind of hanging over, and you can't cut it with scissors. So I'm going at it with some sandpaper, and then I'll put a thin seal over it later when this is 100% dry. It's not totally dry yet. It's dry enough to sand, but it's not totally dry. I'm also doing a little bit of sanding inside where the spine, where the creases are for the spine, just to do a little bit of cleanup so the book opens and closes easily. All right, friends, this is the beginning of our book cover. Here's the front. This is the spine. And this is the back. And then when we open it up, we have our front cover and our back cover. I am making this for a child. This person is, I'm guessing, 10 years old. And so that's why we have the theme and feeling that we have going on. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you soon.